It's another time for your favorite power sector program, Power Wheel, brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. The management and staff of TCN want you to stay safe away from the coronavirus pandemic, COVID-19, by washing your hands, sanitizing your hands, practicing social distancing, and other preventive measures as announced by the relevant authorities. In this edition of Power Wheel, here are the headlines. TCN, Niger Delta Power Holding Company synergize on strengthening critical transmission lines. System operations staff of TCN hold biannual capacity building session. TCN reforms operations at New Haven Power Transmission Substation in Enugu State. Today's interview segment features the Sub-Regional Transmission Manager, Kaduna Region of TCN, Engineer Mohammed Kamar Bello. He speaks about the 330-132 kilovolt Kumbotso Power Transmission Substation in Kano State and the progress made in boosting the in-house engineering capacity to deliver critical transmission projects in the region. We're delighted to serve you these reports and more as you continue with us on the program. I am Chinwenwa Anyaun.
The management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, wants you to stay safe while stakeholders battle the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The World Health Organization, WHO, and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has outlined some safety tips for you. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with your hands unless they are properly cleaned and sanitized. Wash your hands regularly with clean running water and soap. Use alcohol-based sanitizers for your hands when you touch an open surface or in contact with someone. Maintain social distancing rules and keep at least 2 meters distance from others during this period. Report suspected cases to public health officials and the nearest NCDC platform. Finally, obey the stay-at-home rule except for essential workers like those of TCN, and follow other safety measures provided by governments and authorities from time to time. Together, we can defeat the coronavirus pandemic as you do your bit.
The management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has held a strategic meeting with officials of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, NDPHC, towards strengthening the optic ground wire OPGW link on the Ugwaji-Makurdi 330 kilovolts double circuit power transmission line and to accelerate the completion of other NDPHC transmission projects.
The Managing Director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Mr. UG Mohammed, in his opening remarks at the interface meeting, which held at the TCN headquarters in Abuja, admonished both parties to work together to deliver the outlined power transmission projects for the common good of the power sector and the country.
We have to work together to ensure that we are all working for Nigeria. That is the fact. So, and the way I operate actually, what is government, whether it's NDPHC, whether it's TCN, whether it's anything. Therefore, we have to work together.
The TCN head said TCN has procured reactor which is installed to strengthen the 330 kilovolt double-circuit Ikotekwene to Ugwaji transmission line, noting that it will help TCN to dispatch more load from the Udupani power plant operated by the NDPHC.
We procure reactor both in Ugwaji and Udupani, and Ugwaji and Ikotekwene. And that will help us to dispatch Udupani better if we complete the reactor. So this is the kind of relationship that we do, help provide mutual cooperation. But all those areas that we mentioned here, we have had a lot of meeting with Shaw. Shaw is, Shaw is one of us. We have had a lot of meeting with all of them. I think we have to work towards making this work, because the current system that we want, we have launched the procurement of SCADA.
Mohammed said TCN has always worked with NDPHC to ensure smooth delivery of the intervention projects in the aspect of power transmission and to support its financial sustainability. The head Independent System Operation at TCN, Engineer Maman Lawal, said the interface meeting between the two companies was to ensure the fiber optics projects on the Ikotekpene, Ugwaji, Makodi, Jos, 330 kV transmission line and other transmission projects being handled by the NDPHC are delivered effectively.
The last couple of weeks, the MD had several meetings where we had to discuss issues relating to telecoms, the OPBW, outstanding projects being handled by you at the instance of the NDPHC. Okay, so this meeting actually is in furtherance of that strategy that the MD has adopted, and we just expect that we all have to key into it and ensure we do the needful to make it to properly position the project so we can derive the benefit for which we have set out in the first place. Thank you very much.
Lawal also said having a robust telecommunication system is of crucial importance in the operation of the national power grid.
The import of telecoms in power grid management. Telecoms is the life wire of effective grid management, right? And each time we talk about the SCADA EMS, we talk about the telecoms network. If you don't have an effective, reliable telecoms network, you cannot actualize the SCADA EMS applications. And these days, SCADA EMS, provides the leverage for grid management in modern times. So it is a project that the management of TCN has taken very seriously, and to that extent, anything that has to do with telecoms is given high priority.
The head transmission service provider TSP at TCN, Engineer Victor Adewumi, said the meeting was part of the collaborative strategies between TCN and the NDPHC.
It's more of a collaboration between TCN and the NDPHC. The good thing is that we are executing both the same projects. On behalf of federal government, you are doing a lot of transmission projects which, when completed, you hand over to us as TCN. So many times we have some issues where we have to just fertilize ideas. So basically, this is the reason we are having this meeting, for us to cooperate together, look at the projects and how we can ensure that these projects are completed seamlessly.
The officials of NDPHC assured TCN of their highest commitment towards the collaborative efforts. Among the NDPHC officials present at the meeting were the head of transmission at NDPHC, Dr. Yusuf Yari, the Assistant General Manager Transmission and Project Manager for Telecommunications at NDPHC, Engineer Aliu Galadima.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria is a federal government utility and the only interface between the generation companies and the distribution companies in the power sector. This company, which strives to manage the national power grid on a 24-hour basis, is committing huge investments to improve its facilities nationwide. Power will visit the 330 132 kilovolts New Haven transmission substation in Enugu State and brings you the exciting changes at the substation.
The New Haven transmission substation is among the oldest substations in the array of TCN facilities nationwide. While the 132 kV section of the substation was commissioned in 1976, the 330 kV section was commissioned in 1981 to evacuate more power from many generation stations in the southern parts of Nigeria. The Principal Manager Transmission at the Enugu region, Engineer Mohammed Kwali, said the substation has witnessed massive transformation in the recent past.
At 330 kV, we have 2 by 150 MVA. Now 1 by 150 MVA is under construction. We have 3 lines, 330 kV line come. 2 come from Ugwaji. 1 come from Onitsha. Therefore, we have 3 lines coming to this sub-region.
Mohammed said there are 4 units of 60 MVA power transformers under the 132 kV section, which supplies power to Enugu, Ebonyi, and Benue states.
Presently, at 132 kV side, initially we have 2 by 30 MVA. Then now we have 4 by 60 MVA. If you multiply 4 by 60, we have 240 MVA. We distribute to Enugu State, Ebonyi State, and Benue States.
He said there are still plans to expand the substation to raise the capacity to evacuate more bulk power.
There is a plan. We are expecting another, I told you 1 by 150 is under construction, and we are expecting another 150.
Let's take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Verify that land before you buy it. To drastically reduce the incidence of building under the transmission right-of-way or encroaching on designated TCN land, members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near or along transmission line route before purchasing it. Verification should be made in the Land Development Authority or at the TCN office. This would help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission line right-of-way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structure or truncating transmission line expansion projects in your community due to court injunction. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
You're welcome to the interview segment of Power Wheel. In this edition, the Sub-Regional Transmission Manager, Kaduna Region of TCN, Muhammad Kamar Bello, speaks about the 330-132 kilovolt Kumbutso power transmission substation in Kano State and the progress made in boosting the in-house engineering capacity to deliver critical transmission projects in the region. Please stay with us. What is the capacity of the Kumbutso substation?
The Kumbutso transmission substation has 9 number of 132 by 33 kV transmission substations and 330 by 132 transmission substations. So that may have a total of around 10 number. The wheeling capacity is we have a 4 by 150 MVA transformer. Here in Kumbutso.
A 150 MVA power transformer was fixed by the in-house engineers last year at this substation. Can you give us the details of this?
This transformer, I think it was last year exactly, more than 1 year. The transformer has a problem. Before, the other transformer that was replaced, that is the T1, was born for the first almost 6 years. And it was not being repaired. Later, we have problem with the GR3, that is the third transformer, which has internal problems, so we cannot repair it. So what actually we did is we cannibalize the other transformer. So we bring the other accessory of the other transformer to the T1, that the one that was born. Then we reactivate it, and now it's working.
What is the coverage area of this region and what projects are you executing?
This region covered about 3 stations. That is Kano, Katsina, and Jigawa, and some part of Bauchi and Yobe. Like here in Kano, we have some other project which is going on, and some are on the line. Like Liman Zakara, which is 330, 132 substations. The second one, the 330, 132 substations. And there is another one at Walalambe, which is 132, 33. This project has been lingering for over 16 years. So, but hopefully by end of this year, the project will be completed, inshallah. And at Jigawa, there is one substation, which is almost supposed to be energized by now due to tower problems. But I learned the tower was available now, and it has been on the port. They have already shipped it. They have already loaded from Lagos to Jigawa. So maybe by 2 days, the tower erection will be started. And what the substations, installations, pre-commissioning, everything has been completed. Waiting for the tower to be erected before we can energize the substation.
Are there challenges affecting operations in this region?
I don't think so. We have problem with the insecurity. It's only part of Kaduna that has some few insecurity, but here in Kano and and Jigawa, I don't think so. We have problem with the insecurity. It's only some part of Katsina and Kaduna. That is why we have more challenging on insecurity, because of our line. Our line cannot be patrolled. Some other lines cannot be patrolled without the security means. So it's a big challenge for our line. Financially, we don't have problems. Anytime we ask for the finance, I think the management, the current management used to give us and execute a lot of jobs. Like now, we are doing a in-house project, which is the relocation of 175 MVAR shunt reactor to another bay, where we can use the reactor bay to install the proposed 300 MVA transformer. I think this is a big challenge. The fund has been released since, and the work is ongoing.
Do you think the management is doing enough to boost the capacity of the engineers in this region?
This management has been trying so much since the time they have come for the first 3 to 4 years. I have seen a lot of changes from the backward, where I can even had that before. I could recall that I installed only not more than, for the first 17 years, I installed only 7 to 8 power transformers. But with the current management, because of some other changes and the good support they have given to us, I have installed more than 15 power transformers within this region and some other regions. So this is a great achievement, and we have to thank the management for giving us the opportunity to even practice our field.
What are the expectations in terms of project delivery for the region?
This year, we are expecting more projects to come and more projects to be completed. Like this Gagarawa, by God's grace, in less than 1 month, if the tower erection has been finished, we will complete that one. Then there is one at this Liman Zakara. The project will not be completed, but I'm sure it will reach some certain percentage. And the one at Walalambe, that one I am sure this year the project will be completed, but all the material are available. So I saw no reason why the project cannot be completed this year.
Join us next week for another exciting interview segment of this program, Power Wheel. Capacity building for the staff members of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is of great importance in the overall success in the operations and management of the national power grid. In view of this, the TCN management continually creates various platforms to advance the skills of its workers. One of such is the biannual meeting of heads of human resources under the Independent System Operation, ISO, of the company.
The latest edition of the biannual meeting of the heads of human resources of ISO, which was the first this year, held for 2 days in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, with the theme, Next Generation Leaders, Building Capacity to Ensure Successful Transition. In his address, the Acting General Manager HR of the Independent System Operation ISO at the TCN headquarters, Mr. Chuks Naji, who spoke on behalf of the head of ISO, Engineer Mamman Lawal, explained the objectives of the meeting, especially as the participants share their experience on the job.
The objective of this meeting, as we have seen, we have our desk officers at the center seated. And the idea of this meeting is to impart knowledge in them, because sooner than later, all of us will be exiting from the system. So the set you're seeing at the middle here are the desk officers. And the idea is that we should be able to impart this knowledge in them, make them be able to stand on their own, so that when we are all retired and out of this place, this house will not fall. So the arrangement today, in fact, throughout this meeting, is to have them present everything from beginning to the end. It is their duty to make all the presentations, from the academic ones and the ones that are on the job.
The Regional Operation Manager, ROM, at the TCN Port Harcourt Region, Engineer Jude Agupusi, lauded the HRISO staff for their operations, saying they will be given more support to operate.
I want to say once more, please, we are truly, truly proud of the HR department. You can see the proactiveness for you to start preparing people to take over. It's not every mind that's reason that way, especially Nigerian minds. So we'll be thinking of only about us, myself. But here we are looking at tomorrow. So I want to appreciate you once more.
The acting GM HR at ISO, Mr. Chuks Unaji, while making a presentation to the participants during the meeting, said the current management of TCN always take welfare of staff as a top priority. Some HRDEX officers at the biannual meeting made presentations based on their job schedules. Among the topics were presentations on human resource services, the functions of a human resource person in an organization, competencies for robust human resource practice, compensation and benefits, policy and strategy, among others. In her comments about the presentations, the manager training at ISO TCN, Mrs. Rahima Abdulaziz Nyaku, said the points raised by the various discussants must be taken seriously. As the participants wrap up the meeting, awards of outstanding performance, according to the panel of judges, were presented to Mrs. Juliana Arowolo from the corporate headquarters of TCN and Mr. Innocent Oche of Port Harcourt Region.
It's time for the soundbite segment of this package.
As of today, I'm happy to tell you that apart from 3 small generators on the grid, which we have written letter to them and we have informed them that they are due for disconnection, all generators are on free governor in Nigeria, which is a significant achievement. Now, the next thing we need to have is the secondary reserve. The secondary reserve is to take care of instability that cannot be taken care of by the primary reserve. And what are these instability? If, for example, a generator that is carrying 300 megawatt, for example, goes off, or 2 of them, or a transmission line that is carrying huge power, let's say 400 megawatt trips, the secondary reserve is supposed to come up to support the grid so that the demand and supply is balanced. And that is what we have come to request for here. Now, we are not requesting for it for TCN, it's for the industry. Because when there is a system collapse, is it only TCN that lost? No, everybody loses.
That is it on this edition of Power Wheel. Do join us next week for another refreshing edition. This episode and the previous ones are available on our YouTube channel. Don't forget you can also interact with us on our platforms as we strive to serve you better. The management and staff of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, are concerned about your health. Do strive to stay safe, away from COVID-19 by washing your hands, sanitizing your hands, practicing social distancing and other preventive measures announced by relevant authorities. I am Chinwenwa Anyao. Enjoy the rest of your day.